Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Emrat and we're playing some Furious Poro Bears version of Gwenuani today. I saw this on the leaderboard the other day and I figured we'd give it a try because I love Gwen and I love Sejuani. So perfect combination. And I uploaded a video of this deck quite a while ago. I honestly, it's been so long I don't remember how I did with it, but I remember I enjoyed it overall. And I thought this was a fun deck list. Some interesting cards here. I didn't even think about this, but Doom Beast is an extra way to trigger Sejuani on your opponent's turn. Kind of like how you use Tusk Speaker to get the Plunder trigger on your opponent's turn. You can also use Doom Beast. Otherwise, some interesting cards. We have 3 copies of Inner Beast, which I haven't been super successful at finding the perfect timing yet. I think I just get too scared about whether or not I should open attack or not. And another card I'm really excited to try out some more. Redeemed Prodigy. I love this card in the Gwen Katarina decks. And so I'm really excited to see it here. The Hallowed triggers work so well with Sejuani's level up condition. It's so easy later in the game. Instead of having to have, like, in Plunder decks where you'd have warning shots or something to trigger Plunder, you can attack with a Tusk Speaker first, and he'll be, like, you know, a 5-2, 6-2, and Sejuani second or whatever, and, like, that'll trigger the Plunder trigger, freeze everything. Really interesting ways of doing that as well. Obviously, you have Unspeakable Horror and other ways to activate Plunder triggers, but that was a pretty interesting little combo when I was testing with the deck yesterday. At the top end of our curve, we do have 2 Vengeances to deal with some of the opponent's high-end stuff. And we have Ancient Yeti, obviously a fantastic card who can draw early, so it can get pretty cheap. And 2 copies of Atrocity. Obviously, with the Plunder trigger or the Hollow triggers, your units can get pretty big. So if you can push some Overwhelm damage, some Drain damage, eventually the Atrocity can just help finish off the game if your opponent stabilizes the board. But yeah, let's get into it. I played yesterday a whole bunch of different decks. I didn't have a ton of success, but I did play this one, and I had a lot of fun with it. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know if you guys have been trying any special decks since the new patch came out and everything. I'm excited to see if anything new pops up. Because I think it's in a pretty good spot at the moment. I feel like I didn't kill the Aatrox decks or the Seraphine decks, but it's still at a point where it's actually like they're all playable, which I think is really good. Because I don't know, it's just nice when you have a nice balance of the cards being, or all the decks being playable, but none of them are overpowered, I suppose. Because I really enjoy Gwen Katarina. And I think it's a fun deck to play against as well. I'll develop here, because even if they play Vile Feast, I don't really care particularly. I'll still get in for the overwhelm damage. And if they don't have an answer, like a Make It Rain doesn't do anything really. Or Make It Rain is better if we develop. Sorry, it's better for us if we develop into a Make It Rain with our X2. Whereas if they had a Vile Feast, we'd still be able to push the damage. And we'd get the Howl triggered as well. So yeah, anyways. It's just nice to, like, I think I've heard the Master Runeterra podcast talk about it, where all these decks are at a decent power level. So it was like just tune down Aatrox a little bit and bring up some of the other decks a little bit, and you'd be in a pretty good spot. Oh, that's pretty clever. Yeah, we'll take that. Next turn we don't have much going on, so we might just have to open attack. Maybe we don't. Maybe we have to, like, Unspeakable Horror this thing. Or we could just pass as well. Next turn, play Ancient Yeti. Yeah. We don't have much going on here. I think I'd rather just pass. Play Ancient Yeti next turn and get our Unspeakable Horror with a Nightfall trigger. Viego's at 6 mana, so we're going to have to open one next turn with Sejuani. And then they could play Viego afterwards and he wouldn't be frozen or vulnerable. But kind of comes with the job, I suppose. Anyways, so yeah, I'm not sure how long today's stream might be. We have some company over and we're doing some family stuff, so it might be short. I might be able to squeeze in a bit longer, who knows. But either way, I'm excited to give this deck some try. I really want to get, like, into this whole streaming thing. Like, rather than just, like, 1 hour long. Ooh, is that any good for us? I think if we can activate the Nightfall, it'd actually be really good. So this is not quite what I'm looking to do here. We can go Inner Beast to create a standstill, but since it doesn't cost 0, we can't, like, pass priority with a smoke spell. So maybe we just say, like, take out Zap Sprayfin. Because Viego's a 6/5. And if we give Inner Beast, we'll force another spell out of them. And they wouldn't have a 1-mana pump spell? Okay. I think that's fine. We're gonna have to get rid of their vengeances eventually. So I will go like this. If they want to block with the tentacle, I'm really happy to get the Howler trigger, because this guy's probably not going to do much damage in his zone at this point. So I'd rather just add it to the overwhelm stacks, especially if we draw our Gwen. Alright, so here I'm honestly thinking I'm just going to go Inner Beast plus Eclipse Dragon, because they can't play Viego, or Ruination, or Viego. So we're kind of safe to develop these big dudes. But I do think we probably need to open attack next turn then. Oh my gosh, that's nasty. Would they be developing more here if they had Ruination? If I let this go, we could open attack for 5 overwhelm damage for free because they might use this. We could just go Boisterous Host. What happens if we play Ruination? I think if they play Ruination, we're fine. Because we just go Redeem Prodigy plus Phantom Butler.
Welcome, one and all, to the Midnight Rebel!
And this guy's gonna be really difficult for them to deal with if they never find a Vengeance. Or unless they use a Vengeance for it. Sure. We can push this a little bit more. They can still play Ruination, but then we just get 2 units. Obviously, the Redeeming Prodigy is really good with a clear board, plus an extra Howler trigger. Viego. Cool. In that case, I think we just go like this. I think I'll Will Swing on this. If they want to take a better trade here, I think we're fine with that because it'll damage Viego. They're going down to 1 is insane. I mean, if they go down to 1... Okay. Going down to 3. So now we pretty much win with Atrocity. If they ever tap out of Vengeance. I think I do want to develop... I don't want to play just 1 unit next turn. And I'll play the one that doesn't die at Vile Feast. It will die to Quietus, though. We have a 3 sisters as well, so we could entomb something if we need to. Gwen. Ooh. I'll play Phantom Butler. It'll trade with the 3/3 if it attacks. If they play Ruination right now. Ooh, okay. What if we just open attack next turn? We could just freeze Viego. We could just play another 7/7 Overwhelm. If they Vengeance Sejuani, what happens? Do we have to develop next turn, or can we open attack? Or we could go Gwen and keep open a freeze this turn. I think that's fine. Because they probably wouldn't want to use a Vengeance on Gwen right now, and if they let us attack, we get a heal. Really? I'll take this trade, give the Howler trigger. I'm gonna get rid of the blocker so our Redeemed Prodigy has a better chance of getting in next turn. Our open attack is lethal. I'll just pump this up. That's a lot of heals though. That could be a problem. So maybe now we don't have lethal in the open. Quietus, that's really good for them. Well, Viego's gonna level soon. That's really bad. Because if we just freeze, what happens? We can't play anything afterwards if they have a Ruination. Are we happy if they have Ruination? Spell Shield's probably good here. If they play Ruination, this guy lives, it'll have lethal in hand. I forgot he had Spell Shield, honestly. I thought he was just a 7/7 Overwhelm. Honestly, this Eclipse Dragon Nightfall came in handy. These two guys are huge extra game finishers in case they try to kill our champs. I don't know. I feel like we're a little bit under pressure here. They've gone long enough with enough heals that right now, what they gotta have, like, I mean, they don't really have too many ways of. I'm just scared Viego's gonna level is the thing, I think. If they can figure out ways to live through 18 overwhelm damage, maybe I'm just spooked of Ruination too much. We have a ton of damage coming in here. So we can swing him with the overwhelm on this guy because he's spell shield for the hollow triggers. And this guy's lethal on his own. So yeah, even if they blocked with a hired gun here, we'd just play Inner Beast. Vengeance here, I imagine. And if that goes through, that'll be fine. Yeah, we can't push lethal quite right yet. So I think we just let this go. Next turn we'll play Infinite Mind Splitter to stun any blockers they play. And then if they don't play Ruination, we'll have Sejuani overwhelm the next turn. If they pass, it's also lethal with Gwen Drain. Unless they obviously have like a Vile Feast or something, so it's probably not. Okay, so we can stun here and here. If they attack, what do we do? We could trade, but then... Ooh, okay. I'm just spooked of Atrocity if we let Viego hit for free. So we could just block with Gwen, let the stun go through, and open attack. Then if they have Ruination, that doesn't go to plan. We could try to block here. And then open attack is lethal because Gwen's not leveled, so the drain goes through anyway, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this drains no matter what, even if she dies, right? But if they have Vile Feast, we don't win. So why don't we just slam, like, Overwhelm first, and then we can play units afterwards? Because she'll be doing 5-8 Overwhelm. Twisted Fate. Okay, sure.
There she is, our guest of honor.
I've never been the guest of honor anywhere before.
Sorry, people are coming in and out of the house, and so my doggy's barking a lot. This should be lethal. I think we played it out fine, because if they have a ton of units, but if they even had like Vengeance, we'd have enough units to push Overwhelm later on. And I did play the Yeti first because I'd rather keep Sejuani safe, I suppose, for later on in case they play a Viego that we need to freeze. Like, because at that point there's no real difference between the Yeti and Sejuani for the sake of how much damage we're pushing. And the mirror match. Okay. I was not expecting this at all. Let me go to the leaderboards real quick. I think we keep our champs if we have a really good early game. Since we don't, I think we pitch the ball. Turn 4 is way too late to get started. But I'll keep the Yeti since it can be a lot more mana. Oh my gosh. That's brutal. That is so, so bad. We're going to have to hit some really good draws early on, or else we're probably going to lose this game. Gwen Sejuani has 57% win rate and only has a 0.7 play rate, 0.7% play rate. So not a ton. Oh man, this is so bad. I think we probably are going to lose this. This is nice though. By like turn 5, they'll be so dirt cheap we can play both of them. If they play a Boisterous Host, I kind of want to just like let it go. At this point, yeah, this is brutal. We can't do anything about this. Oh my gosh, what do we do? We have to play like double Unspeakable Horror.
The party never ends, nor its spirits.
Is it better to... It's probably just better to shoot Redeemed Prodigy here. This feels really bad. I don't think these decks run Glimpse Beyond or Troll Chant. So I'd be surprised if I can keep this alive. Oh, of course, of course, of course, of course. Yeah, I mean, we're so desperate at this point. We're already lost. Like, we've lost this game. Winding Light's a heck of a card, though. They push 8 damage if they attack right now. And we just can't interact with it. I love this little dude. I don't know what he is, but he's cute. We'll probably just play a Yeti.
There is so much to see. Where do I start?
It can kill Gwen. So that's gonna stop their attack this turn. Hopefully. Maybe they just get in for the damage. Yeah, if they do this, we're gonna have to block Gwen. Like, they're still pushing a ton of damage if they do this, right? We can still try to kill other stuff. Gwen's a little harder to kill. Like this, if we hit another Unspeakable Horror, Sejuani, like, there are other ways to go after this. I think it's probably better to kill Gwen there, because she also has the Drain that is going to get massive with all the Howled stacks. I just don't know what to do here. Like, just slam Gwen.
For me to leave my mark.
Sure. That's about all we can do. Try to heal up enough. Next turn, block the Hallowed unit. And actually, if they give us a chance, maybe we just start with Ram Stance. I absolutely need to keep this guy alive. So this is hopefully incentivizing them to open attack next turn. Because that way we take way less damage than if they like stick a Sejuani. Even if they play Sejuani, I think we just Ram Stance. Sure. Anyways, I don't know if I mentioned earlier. I want to get... Yeah, my train of thought was interrupted. I feel like I do that all the time, but I never like watch my stuff back to know if I do or not. I want to get really, really into streaming. So we can play Stance Swap and Freeze. And that's like just a ton of health. Because it also stops the extra Ghastly Band, right? Like, gives them 2 Hollow Triggers, so... So Joanna's gonna be pushing a ton of damage. I'd love to just Fury of the North to kill Sejuani, but obviously we can't at the moment. So I think our play is just retaliate with our own Sejuani next turn. We won't have any howled. Yeah, so thankfully Sejuani's 5 plus the Ram Stance 1 damage will be just enough. We can start with Yeti. What happens? They don't have any free attacks. But I really want to get into streaming. Like, I just hit the 50 follower mark on Twitch. And once I average 2 concurrent viewers, I can start like getting subscribers and stuff. And so it'd be really nice if I could do this like even part-time. I don't even like expect it to ever become like a full-time job or anything. But it'd just be nice, especially because like at the moment, I've been doing a ton of job hunting and I've gotten like no interviews. And I applied for the Tampa Bay Rays, the baseball team, and I got an interview and I thought it went really well, but they declined and stuff. I've been even applying for like a local bookstore and I haven't gotten a response. And so I'm kind of disheartened. And so at the moment I have like a part-time internship, but it's pretty much volunteer. It doesn't pay much. And so it's like, if I could even just turn it into like a slight part-time job just for a few extra bucks, it'd be so cool to like, that's really clever. We still freeze her, then go after her though. Just get damage on her, I think. And then next turn we can thread the needle. Because I'd like to do it where it's like, where I can like convince myself to spend more time in the game and not think it's a waste of time. Because at the moment I'm kind of like, I picture it as almost being like, as much as I love the game, I'm not really in the tournament scene. I'm not good enough yet to like win tournaments, and so it's like, or I don't even convince myself I should play in the tournaments because I end up being like, or no, I shouldn't spend the time to get good at tournaments because I'm like, it's gonna take so much time. I'm not gonna win anyway. Stuff like that. And so I'd love to be able to like convince myself to actually like sit down and stream for like 3 or 4 hours. Like I think it'd be so much fun. That's a good card. Is it good enough? Probably not. What do we want to sacrifice? Probably just the Yeti. I mean, we could just go here.
Fight like the animal you are. Leave no survivors.
And win on the open if it goes through. I think it's a cool card. I love the artwork. So their Sejuani's probably dead unless they use a freeze. But they could use Fury of the North to trade. Or they could use Fury of the North to just save their Lunari Shadestalker and then run Shovel. Then we pretty much have to open attack. We'll have 8 mana next turn, so we could hit a 1-drop into Winding Light. Or they could just, I think it's probably just best for them to Fury of the North here. Yeah.
Wield your fury.
We only had so many options though. Good game. That game was over from the start though. Like, I'm surprised we almost came back into that.
Seems these scissors could use a little sharpening.
Like, we didn't play Unit until turn 4, right? I can't believe we were that close. That's part of the card game though, you know? Sometimes you just have the bad draw. We mulliganed away a really expensive hand and we just drew a really expensive hand back. FTR, okay. This is an interesting matchup I'm excited to try out. I'll chuck back Phantom Butler because it just doesn't do much against a Vile Feast or an Avalanche or a Blighted Ravine, like anything like that. So Tusk Speaker at least. I'm so sorry, there are like 8 people coming in and out of the house. Oh my gosh. It's so embarrassing. This is a really interesting hand. We have a turn 2 play. Really good for triggering Sejuani. But then turn 3 we could develop and get really punished by an Avalanche if they bank all their mana on the first few turns. But we also get really rewarded if all they have is like Catalyst of Eons or something. Now that we have Inner Beast, that's actually really interesting. Because we'll have enough mana to bank by then. Like next turn if we go Ruthless Raider, then an Avalanche only kills 1 of our units if we play Inner Beast. And we could even play on Ruthless Raider to protect it from a Vile Feast afterwards as well, since it'll be tough. So I think that's the play I'll go for here. Definitely not Phantom Valor. We need to be aggressive. Like, by turn 8, 9, we're just losing the game. They'll have like Bear Nice, they'll have FTR. They're gonna have freezes. Like there's just so much we can do if we don't put damage on them early. Next turn we'll play Gwen. That'll be difficult for them to deal with. Because they haven't ramped at all yet. So they'll have exactly Vengeance mana if that's what they want to go for. I think I will play Gwen. I want to get her close to level up if I can.
See me.
As well as if she dies. That's fine. So I'll play Ancient Yeti and keep up Inner Beast against another Avalanche. Or that. That sucks. So yeah, Gwen can't attack yet. We'll have to buffer up eventually. If you want to take the block, I'll rip it, and you could waste a Troll Chant. Because it won't kill our Yeti. He'll obviously be... Okay, sweet. That works really well for us. I'm happy to put this vulnerable to Avalanche next turn. If he gives us an action, we could go like +2/+2 on Gwen. Probably better than +2 regeneration. Okay, I'm really happy with this. If this goes through. We can just ramp stand or stand swap twice. I'll give Gwen +2/+2 because we need her to push damage. And I'll give the Yeti regen. Oh, they could Avalanche here. That'd be really annoying. But we weren't doing much else this turn anyways, other than banking mana, I suppose. Nice. That feels really good. And I think we just take the attack.
I shall need my tools.
Because they're at this point going to be having Buried in Ice mana. I'll end the round. I don't want to give them extra incentive. I'll only play Sejuani once they tap out of Buried in Ice, and we can open attack. Oh, that's really good too. Like, wait, they have 12 mana. That's really annoying, actually. So we just can't do much if they have FTR. We can freeze one of them with Sejuani. Or we could just freeze one of them. Okay. So we could just open attack next turn? How? Gwen won't be pushing enough damage to go overwhelmed through the Ice Pillar. Unless we give her another +2/+2. So what if we just freeze?
You own what you hate.
Fear of them is also really good for next turn. I was considering playing Sejuani next turn to freeze Trinimir and give him vulnerable, but I don't want to walk into another either FTR, Buried in Ice, whatever it is, right? Nice, okay. I'm just going to open attack.
What a joy.
You don't stand a chance.
Okay. So I think we just kill Trinimir like this, then play our second Sejuani later on. Because I don't want to waste a freeze right now, and then just have a leveled up Trinimir, and then FTR next turn I'll have 3 level champs. Like, I'd rather just save the Sejuani as a... I mean, we could go 3. We could push 6 extra damage here. Wouldn't be quite enough. So we'll let this go. Now we could just Vengeance this one, right? We have Vengeance in hand. That's true. We could just do that. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just Vengeance Tryndamere here. Next turn, if they have an FTR, we survive. I don't think I can let that go. We need her. They could spend their own freeze here, obviously. That'd be a little frustrating. We've invested a lot in this Gwen. Oh, and of course they deserves the Vengeance. Okay. So what now? Maybe unspeakable horror. I'm just gonna put into this. Whoa, that's really bad. That's draw each. They didn't draw anything? They didn't draw anything? Are you serious? What is this? What does that mean? That's insane. We have a really good open attack. I'll probably just drain here. We can give our Yeti enough to be lethal on the open. And then have 5 extra damage coming through from the Boisterous Host and everything. Oh my gosh, that's so nasty. They don't have any Avalanche mana or Blighted Ravine mana. So we're just going to develop everything here. And they're going to have to deal with a ton of damage coming in next turn. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to give our X1s the Hollow Triggers in case they have a Vile Feast. Oh, that's so tempting. That's so tempting. But we lose if they have already a card in hand, like very nice. I think we win if we open attack here. Lethal, lethal, and combined lethal. Okay. Sounds good. Again, we just end the turn. I don't want them to. That's brutal. Can't finish off FTR yet. It's been the most popular deck list since the patch, right? 4.8% play rate. Wow, are you kidding me? So next turn we just need to do a little bit of extra damage and we'll have Atrocity. Sure. So then we just open with Sejuani.
Only the strong survive.
How many Hollow Triggers do we have? 2? So she'll be doing 8 damage. So if any of that goes through, like let's say 8 damage, so 5 damage, then Atrocity will be lethal. We only have 1 card in hand. Double Atrocity. That's actually really interesting. Okay, Atrocity puts them down to 1. Then we can just second Atrocity later on. Either Doom Beast, Unspeakable Horror, Gwen. Oof. We have a ton of health though, we can be kind of liberal here. They have 1 card in hand, right? So if we Atrocity on the Yeti, we probably just win here. Alright, good game. Nice. That was an interesting matchup. I thought we played it pretty well overall. We kind of matched that balance of aggressive enough to push damage while saving our units in case they developed into their removal. I'm also very interested to see how Gwen Katarina plays now. I don't think the nerf was that bad for the deck. It was the Fallen Reckoner going down from 4-3 to a 3-2. I still think it's really good since it just removes a blocker. And the overwhelm damage plus the hallowed stacks that you'll get still feels really good, I imagine. So I'm very interested to check that out because it's still a 54% play rate. Like, that seems pretty decent. Or no, sorry, 54% win rate, I should say, sorry. Another interesting hand from us. What if we keep everything here? We have a Fearsome blocker with Tough, so it can't die to a Vile Feast. We have our Drain from Gwen. We have a Ram Stance to potentially remove some X1s. I think that's pretty decent. I don't even think we run many 1-drops, right? We have 3 Boisterous Hosts, of course. So I don't know. I think this is a pretty good hand. I'd rather keep this hand than risk the chance of hitting a super expensive card that we can't really play, like Atrocity or something. We take a ton of damage if we let this go through. Or if we attack right here. So I think we probably just play conservative here. I'd like to play Volpane Wanderer in order to get the easy block on the 3-2. But if they do this, I think I will take the block. We can't take 6 damage here. So how do we want to do this? I think we just play Ruthless Raider because it trades with Elise later on. Whereas Vulpine Wanderer's vulnerable to Quietus. Can't block Fearsomes. Now we just play Gwen. What can they do? They could have a Vengeance, I suppose. House Spider. Sure. So now do we want to attack with Ruthless Raider? I think we do. I think we do when we just play our Inner Beast. Never mind. They don't want to take the trade here. I was a little surprised by that. We get our Drain, which is good. Next turn, I'd very, very much like to play my Ram Stance. Because we lose Gwen this way if they open attack. Okay, very interesting. We still lose Gwen, but it's probably worth it to get rid of all of these. And this will trade with Elise. But the Ram Stance will trade either way. So maybe I want to give this challenge... I want to push this up to Fearsome anyways. Because they're going to go after Gwen, I believe. And we have a second Inner Beast as well. So this saves 5, 6, 7 damage, potentially. I think I let Gwen go and just play the Vulpine one. No, it won't even matter. Because, we'll see how they pull. If they try to pull... Well, no, they're going to pull Gwen with Elise. So we just let this go. Oh, are you kidding me? That's really bad. Wow, we're going to be taking 10, 15 damage, exactly lethal here. And we can't even block with Vulpine Wanderer. I think we just lose. Man, I thought we had a pretty good hand this game. But they were just able to level up like Elise so fast. Maybe they pull wrong. Like literally, there's so many cards here that I would want us to game, like Unspeakable Horror, or another Fearsome Blocker. But, alright, that's crazy, good game. I feel like we have so many ways to win this matchup too. Like triple Unspeakable Horror, and we're running... Sorry, my little deck list faded out. I'll check in a second. I think we run triple Doom Beast if I'm not mistaken. Wow, my posture's so bad. I'm like leaning over the microphone, like into the screen. I've been doing that so much lately when I've been playing card games. Like at night, I'll try to squeak in a few games, and I'll just be like in front of my screen. Usually I need to be a little bit more relaxed, I suppose. Okay, we have triple Unspeakable Horror, triple Doom Beast. So there are lots of... and triple Gwen, obviously, to heal. Okay, surely this hand will be a little bit better. I'll keep Gwen, because we're going to get at least a Hollow Trigger here, hopefully. Maybe not. Ah, jeepers. Do we keep Unspeakable Horror? Do we keep an Unspeakable Horror to ping a Valor? Ah, man, it feels bad, but I think we do. I don't know. That feels tough. That feels really tough. Because we just lose. This, like, I don't think there's, like... We just lose if we can't kill Valor. If they get Valor plus Quick Attack, they kill our whole board. Pretty much. Like, always. This is a little annoying. We can't attack in a Zealous range at night with Redeemed Prodigy. I still think we just take the attack, though. Because, yeah, if we block there, I won't even put it into range for Unspeakable Horror. I'd love a unit here. Not quite good enough, so we'll just take our attack. Sure. I kind of want to keep Unspeakable Horror. Okay. I think I'll ping here. Because that unit could cause problems later on, I suppose. I'd rather just get rid of the... Like, now we could just play, Gwen, I suppose. Oh, man, I don't know. Yeah, okay. Never mind, we can't play these two together. So we probably just end up slamming Gwen here. And we feel bad if they have fish fight, but we just can't do much else. Our hand kind of awkward is kind of awkward just with the timing of playing our Doom Beasts on turn 3 without an easy way to activate. So yeah, fish fight, I think we just lose. So maybe we should have played differently. What could we have done though? Like we could have just slammed a Phantom Butler, but then we're wasting so much mana and we're not really doing all that much. I think we take the block here. It'll get Gwen close to leveling up. And if they have a fish fight, she dies anyways. So it's not really like a 1 damage spell here that does any difference. So I'd rather just save some health at this point. How much damage could we even push here realistically? We probably can get in with both of these. So if we go Phantom Butler plus Doom Beast, we can probably push some damage, maybe get some trades before they slam Aatrox next turn. We need a Vengeance. We do run 2 Vengeance. No, I'm just talking to myself. We can't block this. We're kind of in trouble. We're taking a ton of damage. I upload the videos to YouTube afterwards, so I always like commentate even if like no one's in chat at the time. Fish fight? Yep, okay. I think this game's probably over. Have you been playing any fun decks since the new patch? What do we do if we attack here? I think we probably have to attack because we can't block this thing. And Gwen will just give them extra rallies. So, just slam it in here. I'm happy to at least get rid of 1 unit. But at this point, I think we're kind of just like trying to stall the game out. Although, stalling the game out never works against Aatrox, I suppose, right? They're always just going to have a better late game. I have a dog absolutely attacking me on my lap right now. She's going crazy. Okay, we can play Ancient Yeti. He won't die to the Valor. Plus quick attack. And then we can play Doom Beast after their attacks. Not really, just trying to get more cards. Didn't know I was missing a lot. Been playing Path of Champions. Oh, okay, that's cool. I've been trying to get into Flesh and Blood with my dad a little bit. I have like a few of the starter decks. So, in paper, we've been playing a little bit of that over the past few days. Oh, oopsies. I was so distracted reading the Twitch. I think I should have probably tried to bait another play out before they played Doom Beast. Do we lose if they have catch here? Oh, okay, I'm really happy with this. I think I'm pretty happy to just chump block Gwen. Or sorry, chump block Vayne. Get her down to 2 health. I think we leave the Thrall alone. We can kind of kill that whenever. Our hand's really awkward. I think our best draw is probably Sejuani. Because then, even if they draw Aatrox, we can just pull the vulnerable unit. Ooh. Also interesting. We'll start with Redeemed Prodigy. If they have Aatrox, we just can't do much. Like, open attack doesn't do much here. Oh, maybe it does! Maybe it does. What if we open attack? They just take the damage? No, but then they play Aatrox. Wait, yeah, I think this works if this goes through. If they don't block. Because then we can play Atrocity. Yeah, as soon as they play Aatrox and they won't be able to interact with it. And even if they... Oh my gosh, I think we get there. If they slam Aatrox. Heck yeah? Okay. They don't play single combat. No, do they play single combat? No, they play single combat. What? Wow, that sucks. I really thought they only played fish fight. Dang. Oh, now we just lose. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Oh well. What can you do? Let me check this out. What's up with this? Do they actually play single combat? The most popular list only runs 3 copies of Fish Fight and 1 Condemn. Wow. That's unfortunate. I almost never see single combat in those decks. Ah, so punished, so punished. I thought we had him when I let our Yeti live. I've had this Gwen profile picture like since Gwen came out. I don't remember what mine used to be. I think it used to be like Cythria or something. But I don't know. I never really think about switching my cosmetics. Like I always use a little Hextech Dragonling, unless I use like Gloomtooth sometimes when I play either Bilgewater or Shadow Isles decks. Okay, Zed Hecarim. Definitely gonna keep Sejuani. I think we just freeze Zed or Hecarim on play. Obviously, that's if Zed is played later in the game. And if they play Hecarim, it probably doesn't matter. They probably just kill us anyways if they get a free attack with Hecarim off. So I think we definitely keep Tusk Speaker as our turn 2 play. And then look for our Hallowed units. Okay, that's good. It's a good start. I'll play Redeemed Prodigy for sure next turn. I'm pretty happy to take the trade if they have a 2 power unit and then our Ghastly Band gets in. Or maybe they just have this X1 and we get a nice attack. If we can get multiple attacks. Really? All these X3s have shut this card down so hard today. Do we still take the attack? Probably. It puts this in Ramstan's range. Because we need to kill this thing, or else they're just going to get a ton of value because all their ephemerals are going to be so buffed that it's going to be really hard to kill. So I'll just play... I mean, we can't do anything inside at the moment. We just don't have any cards to interact with him. Even if like Redeemed Prodigy was kept back or anything, we're kind of just taking damage here. So now it's just a matter of if we want to take this much damage. And I don't think we want to, but what do? Block 1. Play another Tusk Speaker next turn. We'll have 4, 5, 6 mana. So we won't even have enough to play Ram's Dance next turn to ping off these 2. I guess we could hope for a better draw. We're so far behind already though. And like, again, I don't really think it was great to keep Redeemed Prodigy around because it wouldn't be blocking anything here well anyways. Or we could just take the damage. That's a level? That seems so bad. I think we have to block. Okay, that's a card. We can play Ram's Dance now. And I don't think they can kill it. We're taking a ton of damage next turn, but again, we just don't have many better plays. Like, look, if we play Tusk Speaker, we're just losing slightly less fast, like slightly slower. When they open attack next turn, we're forced to chump block the Zeds and the Ghastly Bands. Volbeat Wanderer, that's a card. It's a good chump blocker and gives us another Ram Stance if we need to. Wow. We're being beat down so hard.
A bit underdressed.
Well, we can finally kill off Zed next turn. I think if we draw into some freezes slash unspeakable horrors. No, I don't think unspeakable horrors can be great from this point onwards. It'll obviously be able to ping off the Ghastly Bands. But at this point, I don't think we win unless we find a way to deal with a second Zed or a Hecarim. This will level Sejuani, actually. That's pretty big. Because if we get in this turn, You kidding? Okay, I think we lose. We just can't do much here. We're forced to block. I don't think we want to put Sejuani in danger of like a pump spell. So we'll just swing in here. Next turn, I think if they have like 2 units, we probably can't do much, and then they open. If they don't open, we can just play Ram Stance to freeze everything. But then no, okay, sorry, I was thinking this. Yeah, they don't have the Black Flame obviously, so we're fine if they develop. If they open attack, we take 4 damage here. Okay. So we could just Ram Stance now. Make them play something else. But we're pretty much dead if 1 attack ever slips through. So we need to get rid of 2 attackers with 1 action right now, or else we just lose when they attack. Because we can't freeze anything. So this way they'll be forced to develop a second unit, or another unit, and then we can play our own blocker in response. As long as it's not like... as long as it's not ephemeral, because... Yeah, okay. Then they get the Shark Chariot back and we can't stop them.
Welcome, one and all, to the Midnight Rebel.
I feel like our draws have been really bad today.
Your invite.
Maybe I'm just playing poorly, but I feel like... Maybe I'm playing poorly, because this is not a deck I'm super familiar with. I mean, obviously, I'm sure I'm making mistakes. I'm not experienced with this deck. I'm not a very great player, but like... I feel like the deck has higher potential, and I'm just not seeing it as the problem. We'll slip in one more game, and then I'm probably going to have to head out, but... Because when I saw it on the leaderboard, the dude who had been playing it, Furious Polar Bear, had a 95% win rate over his past 25 games. Or past 20 games. So, like, there's gotta be something there, right? Hammer Jace. So, a little bit more of a controlling matchup. I think we're happy to keep this hand. We have a turn 2 play, turn 4 play. Gwen just gets hit by a Vengeance. Are we upset with that? Maybe we are. Maybe we look for something a little bit more aggressive then, and find Champions as a finisher. I don't know what I think about Doom Beast. I love the card, but man, it feels so awkward as a 3-mana unit, because you're like, turn 3 play, but when you're not actually playing in a Nightfall deck, I feel like it's really hard to activate. Okay, finally a good card for turn 1. This might at least get rid of a Quietus. If not, we get in for a few points of damage, then they can Vile Feast it, but we'll get our Hallowed Trigger back. Tusk Speaker is fantastic on turn 2 on their attack token. And if they don't do anything, we probably just open attack. We push 3 damage. They could Vile Feast. I don't think it's worth it to develop. Because then if they have a Vile Feast, they shoot our Boisterous Host and can block our Vulpine Wanderer for 2 mana, right? So I don't think that's I don't think that's the best play. And we can end the round here. We don't have to do anything. But I think it's probably better to play Vulpine Wanderer so we can play Stance Swap next turn plus Doom Beast. It'll be 3 mana. We'll only have 5, so it won't do much. But we can play Vulpine Wanderer now and Ancient Yeti next turn, and we're not wasting all that much mana. I also love this artwork. I think this is really cool. Shock Blast, yeah, sure. That's fine. It doesn't hit our champions, so it is a little bit bad for our board state. But Ancient Yeti's hard for them to deal with. I guess they could have Piercing Darkness. 4 mana, they can't really develop anything significant this turn. We absolutely slam Yeti here. Now I'm pretty happy to draw a Gwen. If they slam a Vengeance on Gwen, then we still get in a pretty good attack next turn. Okay. Pharaoh's Financier, we definitely have to worry about Ruination. They probably already run Ruination in their main deck, I'd imagine, so Probably something to be careful of anyway. We'll have 6 we had next turn. What could we do? We could go +2/+2 on our Yeti, then Doom Beast. We could go stand swap plus unspeakable horror for 5. We could just take the open for 6. What if we just stand swap? They could use a vengeance here, and I think we're happy with that. Okay. And I'll play unspeakable horror here, rather than just developing Doom Beast, because it just can't attack this turn. And we have the Nightfall guaranteed to generate a card, and so like we could get something like the Cloven Way, or Doom Beast. Okay, well, we have 6 Drain in hand. There's the card. They already used a Vengeance, right? So that's good. They're using their removal on less important units. And they tapped out a Vengeance this turn. They could have Piercing Darkness. Or Jace. Ah, rats. Should we have passed there? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like we just took too long here. Were we ever supposed to play Doom Beast on that turn without Nightfall? Maybe we're just supposed to open with... Okay, I think I got too greedy trying to get the Nightfall bonus from Unspeakable Horror. I think we should have just pinged the Pharaoh's Financier for 1 without getting the Nightfall card. And then we could develop Doom Beast afterwards, and then we'd be in a much better situation. Because, like, generally the random Unspeakable Horror card's not going to be, like, game-winning. Sometimes you can hit a, yeah, like, I don't even know what to do here. We can just try to get in for some attacks this turn. Make them trade down. Like, we could just block the 5 attack Doom Beast from the Howl triggers with the Forge Chief. But we'd still be hitting 1 Doom Beast in? I don't know. I feel like this has just really gotten out of hand quickly here. We go Ram Stance. Should we ever just kill Jace? I don't think that does much here. Maybe it does. I don't know. If we just Vengeance, they could cast like... Maybe it's... I don't know. I don't feel like Vengeance does much that turn. We're not really progressing our game plan at all. This way, if this gets attacked, we'll be pushing 6 damage with Doom Beast. And their acceleration gate won't be very good next turn. Like, they could play Shock Blast right now. Or that. I think we still take the attack. They won't want to play acceleration gate next turn on the open. And if they do, we can just Vengeance Jace. I think we probably Vengeance Jace first thing this turn. We'll have 10 mana, so we can go Vengeance plus Doom Beast. And then they won't be able to have a target for Piercing Darkness. I want them to do something first. Like tap out a mana before we develop, so maybe we can open attack without them being able to play a second Jace or a Heimer. Oh man, Heimer's so bad if they hit Heimerdinger. We'd probably have to shoot Heimerdinger instead, I think, actually.
Let's get started.
I don't want to rock into Piercing Darkness. We probably just lose if they heal that much. Or even if they just heal 5, we can't really do much, even if they don't double the healing. I'll take the drain because it's guaranteed enter the battlefield effect. Phantom Butler might just die to a Vile Feast or something. Sure. Well, now that means one less way to get rid of our Phantom Butler. Because he's a fearsome attacker, so without the Vile Feast, maybe he can slip in next turn. We might be able to win if we stick an Overwhelm unit that they can't kill on sight. Which seems unlikely. I'll play Phantom Butler first.
The party never ends, nor its abilities.
Then we can play Vulpine Wanderer plus the stance swap.
Eminently logical.
That's difficult.
Our eyes lead to hidden paths.
Wow. That's so insanely good for them. I think we just lose. Five, 8 damage if we use Fury of the North, and then we can stick a Doom Beast next turn. Maybe? Maybe we get there? So as long as they don't have life drain.
Allow me.
So if they have another Vile Feast or Piercing Darkness, I think we probably just lose the game. I'll probably just play Redeem Prodigy plus Doom Beast. I'll save the Stand Swap for later, in case we need to add Overwhelm to something. Or we can go Ram Stance plus Unspeakable Horror if we draw something like that. Gwen could finish the job. There are a lot of cards that could win the game, I suppose. But they definitely have board superiority from this point on. And like if they play... No, they don't have Jace, so it won't double, so they can't get like Lay of Steel from Acceleration Gate. Splitterator. That's really good for us. We just play Redeem Prodigy. If they develop... I think we win if we just undo Beast here. I mean, obviously, Vile Feast is an issue. But they can play Piercing Darkness now. Piercing Darkness is 5 mana though, isn't it? Let's go. GG! Alright, that was crazy. That was really close. I feel like we were really far behind that game. But it worked out. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I feel like I haven't been playing great lately. I've been really enjoying the game. But I haven't climbed at all. But I feel like decks like this are just so fun when you use like... I don't know, it's just like a nice... It's a solace when you're not winning all that much, but you just get to play some of your favorite champions. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're on YouTube, come hang out on Twitch. I always love hanging out with you guys and talking. And if you're on YouTube, I'm on Twitch. I always upload the videos to YouTube in case you miss a stream. So you can always check them out there. And I'll see you next time. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.